movie theaters, plays, concerts are all going to be affected by COVID-19. Um, Here in New York City, it's especially worse. We're not like Wyoming or Ohio, uh, Idaho, or like Virginia or whatever. We have a lot of people in this specific area. We're like California, we're like Chicago. A lot of people come together in one spot, and that's what those theaters concentrate on. Um, the theaters, the buildings, they require a lot of people to be there for at least one showing per day. And in this climate, where it's very difficult to do so, like people are generally frightened to do so because of what the government says. And they don't want to spread the disease even further. And who knows how long it's going to be. With the whole vaccine thing, if the vaccine comes out soon, will it work properly for everybody? And will it be easy to get? Will it be expensive? That kind of stuff. Because unlike in other countries, we got to pay for stuff like that over here. So it's very difficult to say that movie theaters will do fine over here. It's very difficult because if you spread out the showings and make the showings earlier in the day, like usually in America, usually in New York City, the theaters open up at 10 a.m. If you open up at 7 a.m., some people are out and about at 7 a.m. Open it at 7 a.m., maybe even 6 a.m. You got get people going in there for the early screenings, and then they go about their day, and then you can throughout the day you can get more people. So it's not impossible for a lot of people to see Wonder Woman, but at the same time, probably not. And same thing goes for plays on Broadway and whatever. It's going to be a challenge for them to do so. If they open up early on in the day and they limit the amount of people, they wipe the staff wipes things down, every single seat, every single time, a little bit of Lysol spray everywhere. Very possible that people will feel comfortable going to those showings. However, um, it's going to be quite a few months until people feel comfortable where they can up the capacity to 50%. Now, like I said, in New York City, it's going to be very difficult for them to do so. Um, Now, 10th, I think it's called, or Tenet, is scheduled to come out in July, and I think another movie before that. Um, but in New York City, it's possible. 25% capacity is possible, like little by little. The the spread, as predicted, is lowering more and more and more as the weeks go on and summer gets hotter and hotter. So we don't know whether this disease, thrives in the winter and is weak in the summer. We don't know that for sure. But currently, at the current time, it's looking like that one. Hot makes it so that the disease doesn't really happen in the area as often. It's very weak in the hotter areas. So like hotter areas and less people around. It's a thing. So personally, I would have no problem going back to theaters, but I'm not going to go to theaters for like one movie. I don't do that. There's going to be so many movies coming out. It's going to be a challenge for everybody to see everything every single week. The other problem is the trains over here. The trains have a lot of people coming in there at once, certain times of day. I think like on the weekday, it's hardly anybody there. But like, especially like during peak rush hours, like in the middle of the day or whatever, it's fine. But theaters and stuff like that, it's gonna be kind of iffy. Gonna be kind of iffy. Um, I don't know whether or not New York City is gonna be like this, the regular scheduled fast train service, like every 3 minutes or so a train comes, or like it is now every 30 minutes a train comes. Oh my God, which makes the service a lot worse. But for now, we're gonna have to get through this thing, and it's gonna be quite a challenge for us to do so. Look, like little by little, step by step, it's possible to do so. Of course, casualties will happen, with the disease. One or two, maybe even 10, but it's a lot. It's a lot less than you thought it would be, versus like 100 or so, whatever. And the more we can get used to this whole thing, the easier it'll be. Now, the big question is, do I think that America will have masks forever. For I can honestly see for at least 3 years, it'll be like you'll see masks out there at least 3 years. Even though if a vaccine comes out there and stuff like that, there'll still be people out there that want to support the whole cause and spread as little as possible. So I think at least 3 years you're going to see that, and then maybe in year four, like barely any. But and then things will be back to normal in about 3 years or so, about 3 years for sure, because people are still paranoid of the whole thing. So little by little, you'll see more and more people come to Broadway and things like that. They're about to still be separated. It's a challenge.